Well, they say it's the hope that kills you, don't they? And as West Ham United fans, let's be honest, we're quite an optimistic and pessimistic bunch. We're a little bit bipolar. Do you know what I mean? We we had the win against Manchester United. I can't lie. I was quite happy with it. But behind that, I did kind of think that there was going to be a bump in the road and it was probably not too far down the track. We'll get into that. If you're wondering who I am, hopefully Gio will put the link to my channel, the West Ham Massive, in the description below. My name is Gatesy. If you want to pop across and see a little bit more of me, please feel free to hop along. Really would appreciate it. It's obviously finished West Ham United going down 3-0 at the City Ground. It was not a terribly inspiring performance, and it has to be said, it probably started from the moment that I saw the lineup, if I'm being completely honest. I just looked at it and I just couldn't work out quite what the manager was trying to accomplish. I'll just sort of like press this and sort of go full screen with it, just so you can have a little butchers. That was the lineup, which was really confusing to me. I mean, he's gone three centre backs. The last time we went three centre backs, we played Chelsea. We got rinsed. Why on earth was he going three centre backs? I'm not quite sure. Wan-Bissaka is playing at right wing back. Well, when he's been played at that sort of position, he gets caught out of position so often. It's ridiculous. So I'm not quite sure what he was thinking there, to be perfectly honest with you. Alvarez and Rodriguez. I know Souček was missing because he wasn't well. He wasn't in the squad. Fair enough. Paqueta on the right wing. Bizarre. Quite strange. Bowen up top. I don't know. I sort of looked at that and I wasn't quite sure what he was trying to accomplish. Then I sort of looked at the Nottingham Forest team. Chris Wood, there was some talk that he might miss the game before with a fitness problem. There was also talk about Gibbs White possibly being out with a fitness problem. Don't you know it? They're ready and firing, ready to go. And they had quite a big impact in terms of the match itself. But we started off and it was like 11 strangers on the pitch. I mean, look at the first goal. I mean, for Christ's sakes, Chris Wood had got 7 goals in the Premier League up to the point that he managed to get goal number 8 against us, the opening goal of the contest. He had acres of space. It's like Todibo just completely lost his man. The ball was played in. He had acres of space. He had the freedom of the City Ground pitch. He just steered the ball home with his head, 1-0. And to be honest with you, I wasn't overly surprised. It was coming. I've seen a comment attributed to Lucas Fabianski on the West Ham official page where he talks about the headline something like, "We lost control of the game." I've got to be honest with you. From what I saw, I don't think we had control of it at any point. To say that you lost control of the game is to say that at some point you had control of it. We didn't have any control. It was completely fucking ridiculous. A completely ridiculous statement to say we lost control. We never had control of the game. Then Alvarez effectively makes the contest pretty much a dead event. Just in the last vestiges of the first half. We still had 45 minutes to go, and that was probably the end of the game right there. Picks up a second yellow card. Now, this is a concern as well, because I'm sort of looking and it's like we've had 3 red cards so far this season. We obviously had Alvarez in the game in the League Cup against Liverpool. We've had Kudus against Tottenham, and now Alvarez again. 2 yellow cards. He's doing the walk of shame. Early bar for you, mate. And I'm sort of like, this is quite concerning, because I sort of look this lack of discipline and just go, where the fuck's it coming from? And not just a lack of discipline in terms of sort of challenges, just a lack of discipline in terms of our defensive shape. We're all over the show, absolutely all over the show. We're rudderless. I love Jared Bowen, but I'm not entirely convinced he's captain material. That might be quite controversial. There's probably a lot of people that hear that comment and don't want to know, but I think it has to be said. Jared Bowen, I'm not convinced he's a captain. I think he's a fantastic player. Love him to bits, all the rest of it. But I'm not quite sure that he's the guy that when the shit's hitting the fan at a fair velocity, like it is at the minute, really, I'm not quite sure he's the guy that you need to have with the armband. I'm not quite sure he's the guy that you want in the trenches. 2 more goals fallen in the second half. And to be honest with you, when I look at it, there's players that are out there that are just strolling around. They look completely disinterested. They look completely disconnected from reality. But then you sort of like you look at the coach and you listen to his pre-match, post-match conferences. I don't know about you. I haven't got a fucking clue what he's talking about. He gets asked a question and he answers it, and I'm not quite sure what he's actually said. And to be honest with you, by the time he gets to the end of giving the answer, I've either completely forgotten what the fucking question was that he was asked, or I've got no inclination to drill down any further into the detail because I haven't understood a fucking word he said. Crazy, absolutely crazy. David Sullivan's really fucked up here for me. For my money, I've been of the opinion I want to try and give this guy a bit of time. We're transitional season, trying to change styles, whatever. I don't know what style we are though. We're playing a high line, but we don't seem to be. There's no press. You're playing a high line, but no press. You get played through easy. We're so fucking open. So open. We get carved open like a fucking Christmas turkey. It's really concerning. You know, we'll win one game, we'll lose one game. We'll win one game, we'll lose one game. That's how it's gone. Ipswich, win. Tottenham, lose. Man United, win. Forest, lose. And the games that we win, Ipswich aside, the games we've won, I don't think we've been terribly convincing in any of them. The games that we've lost, a lot of them have been fairly convincing defeats. And at some point, that's going to have a detrimental impact on the confidence of the players. In fact, you can already see it. There's players there that are just looks like they're shells of themselves. Michael Antonio looks completely fucking uninterested. He came on at half time for Somerville. Probably Somerville's confidence is a little bit low now because I think it was quite harsh on him to take him off. Maybe it was out of necessity because of the red card, I guess. But that being said, I do wonder the sort of like the damage his substitutions can do at times on some people. But David Sullivan's really, really fucked up here. He's brought in a manager. Nobody can fucking understand a word he says. Nobody knows what his strategy is. No one knows what his philosophy, I think, is the modern word to describe someone's footballing DNA, whatever. Nobody's got a clue what this fucking guy is all about. We just no idea what we are. We as a club, we don't have an identity. We're rudderless. We just seem to be sort of like shifting from one fixture to the next, and we haven't got a clue. For me, I think that we're getting close to the point. I mean, we've obviously got the game against Everton coming up. That's not going to be easy. That really isn't. You sort of look at that and you go, they are going to be up for it. They're up for the fight. They've got Sean Dyche. He will fire them up. He will motivate them. I'm not too sure that this guy can motivate our team. I'm really not. I mean, like I say, the game that we won against Man United, let's be completely honest about it, that game could have been out of sight by half time. And then where we would have been, we would have had 3 defeats on the bounce. And to be honest with you, that wouldn't have been out of line. It really wouldn't have done. Really concerning times. Really concerning times. I'm not sure what we are as a club at the moment. The leadership coming from the top, from Sullivan. I mean, just you brought in a guy. This guy is just patently not good enough. I think he's got to go. As I say, I really wanted to give this guy a bit more time, but I think he's got to go. I think he's got to fucking shut the door on the way out. Who we get in, I don't know. I mean, there's managers that I'd like to get in, but I know that with Sullivan, we've got no chance. Anybody that's in a job right now, forget it. He's not going for them. So he's going to go for the people that are out of work. It wouldn't shock me. It would not shock me in the slightest if he did make an approach to David Moyes. And it's one of those where I'm like, please, no. But do you know, it really wouldn't shock me. And there's actually I put this on a group chat that I was on a little bit earlier. The one thing I'll say that this manager has managed to do that David Moyes couldn't do towards the end of his tenure, this manager has managed to unite, from what I can see, he has managed to unite the West Ham fan base, because I can't see anyone that wants this guy in. I actually did a poll on a WhatsApp group that I'm in, and so far, last I looked, it was very simple. It was Lopetegui in, Lopetegui out, and everybody so far has voted out. So he has managed to unite the West Ham United fan base to get him out of the club, which is quite incredible. Even sort of like in the latter days of David Moyes, there wasn't that uniformity of opinion, because there were still people that were like, David Moyes in, whereas this guy, 10 league games gone, and pretty much everybody wants him out. And with regret, I'm now one of them, ladies and gentlemen. So it's been an emotional El Pratador, but I think the time has come. You gotta be given the Spanish Archer and fuck off. Anyway, that's just my take on it. If you found this mildly interesting, please pop across to the West Ham Massive. Thanks very much, Gio, for letting me take up some of your airtime. Come on, you Irons.